Boys, Season 5, Episode 6. I'm your host, Jerome. Got my co-host, Ken, with me, as well as Lando and James. Let's talk about The Boys. We got our pros and cons, our standout scene, and then kind of new take that we're trying out is, did it move the needle? Instead of scoring the episode out of 10, we can kind of just discuss whether the episode has added to the season for us, taken away, or stayed about the same. Ken, if you'd like to go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, with the boys, all the episodes are strong. So I think that's pretty consistent. My pros from last week can carry over to this week. Soldier Boy, of course, continues to be a standout. I think because of how good his character is being done. I didn't even have a problem with this being a backdoor pilot for Vault Rising, just because it tied in so well and naturally, like with his backstory and like the plot of this season. Again, Oh Father continues to be a big plus for the season. My favorite scene definitely have to be the conversation between Homelander and the Legend. Again, I think like I've gotten over Homelander confronting characters that are terrified of him and everybody walking around eggshells. So when you have characters that challenge him, and not just challenge him like oh fuck you, no, I mean challenging him like actually giving him parental advice,
Yep.
that's always very, very actually compelling and satisfying. Some of my favorite Homelander conversations were with him and Stan Edgar, who gave similar not just advice, but just similar insight. A few cons that I actually want to hit on now. The Deep verse Black Noir. And again, I understand this is budget restriction for sure, no doubt. But I don't know. I think the writers forgot that Black Noir can fly. Again, Black Noir can fly. So if you're getting choked
Yeah.
out, literally just go to the ceiling. Like same thing would happen, in
Take
this
off.
latest Superman movie. When I think they were trying to like suffocate him or something, he literally just took off and was just going to space. Even in the Thunderbolts, when they jumped
Oh, yeah.
Sentry, Yelena, I think, tried to tase him or something, and he literally just went to the ceiling. So it just felt a bit anticlimactic. And again, I understand budget restrictions. Like even Homelander fighting his son, it seemed you can just feel like the budget restrictions of like some of
hmm
these epic showdowns between heroes. But again, I understand like the show specializes in characterization and writing and stuff. So, but really just felt it there. Sister Sage, one of my favorite characters. Now, this
Yeah.
show told me that she was the smartest character in the show.
Yep.
Not,
Hit us
like
with it.
this isn't something the community gave her. Like this is
Yep.
what they have consistently put that label on her. And based on
Yes.
like the end of last season, I was thinking Ozymandias for her trajectory,
Yes.
for and he
Yeah.
won the entire Watchmen.
Yep.
And I get it. Like, I'm not a super genius. I can't say that I can write a super genius. I think Sister Sage should have accounted for Soldier Boy
Fatherhood.
giving Homelander the V. I just
Caring about his seed.
yeah. And again, like they laid the seeds. Like Sister Sage had Ashley's other side, get into his head, and I think she was
Yeah.
able to get some valuable information there, like how. Yes, like maybe he could turn like for Stormfront, but I mean, he does have a sense of admiration and he is proud of him. He does look at him like a son. So
hmm
for Sister Sage to not account for that. Now maybe you can come back with, well, maybe this is a part of her master plan and everything was a part of my plan. Okay, sure, but we only have the information up to this point. So right now I have to treat it
Yeah.
like a
It's
negative.
impossible. Oh man,
Yeah,
I
like
hated I
so,
hated that
yeah.
line.
And this is someone
Yeah,
that was
same.
in love.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, like come on, like it's supposed to be Ozymandias, and I won't even go into anime and say blank from No Game No Life, but let's just keep it
Damn.
like
Oh yeah,
Damn.
let's
yeah.
keep
Don't
it
start.
let's
Don't
keep
start
it
on that.
like in
Damn,
the
for the
Yes.
anime
superhero space
heads.
and just say yeah Ozymandias, but I don't see her going there anymore.
hmm
And then like I guess just like another quick con, and maybe this is just me personally, the vulgar language, it seems just a bit much. Seems like it's more like
Yeah.
the writers trying to get in like some of like what they want to say. It doesn't seem like all the time it's coming straight from the character. And again, I know the boys has built like its entire identity on that. I get that, but maybe because it's just closer to the end and I'm excited, like for the epic finale. It just seems like it's a little bit too much. But to answer
Yeah.
Jerome's final question, yeah, I felt like this episode definitely moved the needle. I mean, this entire time I remember racing to get to the V and make Homelander immortal. So for it to happen with 2 episodes left leaves a lot on the table. So I'm really excited for that. So yeah, excited for these last few episodes.
Appreciate it, Ken. James, on over to you.
Ken, you brought up a lot of good points, and I was waiting to see if somebody was going to talk about Sister Sage and the whole not accounting for the whole love thing. The love of, the son, or the love of
His seed.
his, well, more so, less his seed, more so Stormfront. And because remember,
Yeah,
he says
that's fair.
that's what she would have wanted, whatever her
Yeah.
name is. And that's why he did it. To me, that I agree with you, Ken. That's a huge negative. So I'm trying to play devil's advocate to some of like your points, which are also my points, coincidentally. And
Yeah, no, I had to
know
cross out
I
seven
don't know
different
if I
lines.
can. I will say, overall, very strong episode. I do
Hmm.
have to say, as a con, we have 2 episodes left. This is the third to the last episode for the entire series. It feels very small. Whereas in comparison, I feel Gen V season 2 did a really good job in their last like home stretch of 3 episodes to make it feel like a big event with the whole showdown
Yeah.
with the
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
old scientist dude that swapped bodies or whatever. Um, that guy was, but like it felt like there are stakes, things are happening. In this episode, I have an issue with like Hugh and Starlight. I'm assuming this has to be like their last conversation or one of their last conversations when they're on top of the car. So it's meant to feel like as a writer, you want to write this scene, and I could tell they were thinking about this, like, oh, this is like their last like intimate moment, before the shit goes down, which is what I'm assuming.
We got
I
Big
just
Bird. Yep.
it didn't hit for me like with them looking at like it fit for the boys and like and that's what the show is, but it didn't fit in terms of like it feeling like a finality. You know what I mean? We only have two
Yeah.
episodes
Didn't
left.
feel special.
This will be three. Yes, that's what I mean. It felt like another conversation that could have happened in season 4, 3, or 2,
Hmm.
or 1 even. Um, I will say my biggest standout has been the legend for this episode. The thing with him, he brings an energy to this similar to there was that Netflix show, the wrestling show, I think it was called Glow, and there's like the old producer dude that was like just talking like shit to our main character at odds with him. That's the energy I felt from this guy, the legend. Also, like Joe Pesci from Goodfellas, if you guys have seen that movie, I got a lot of like that kind of energy from this guy, and it's something that I feel adds to this show at such late a game when personally, and then to wrap up my negatives, I feel the main characters are the biggest weakness of this show, this season and the series overall. I do feel Butcher, Huey, Marvin, and Frenchie Kamiko are very, very weak. Um, and to bring somebody in for 1 episode and I'm already on board with them, like, and that's a problem. That is a problem. Yeah, in terms of favorite scene, the Legend
Standout
Homelander
scene. Yep.
conversation, Ken
Hmm.
already got I mean, guess for shits and giggles, the Jeremy scene with the Deep, where he's like, "We knew it was you." I love that, but that's like a comedic scene. But then
Yeah.
again, a lot of the show feels like they try too hard to, like Ken, you had brought up, like people were swearing just to swear. Some of this is like the writers putting their own like thoughts and personality into these characters, which I get. You're gonna do that when you're script writing. But like a lot of the times I can see through it as a watcher of a lot of these shows and movies. So some of the comedy that hits for me, it works. It works for this. But yeah, overall, did this move the needle at the end of the day? Yes. We got, the Deep killing Black Noir. We got Soldier Boy giving the V to Homelander. Like it moved the needle. Did it feel as much of a like did it feel like as not finite, but like we're heading towards the finale as I feel it should have toward like we only have 2 episodes left? No,
Hmm.
I don't think so. But yeah, in the thumbs up, thumbs down world, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
All right. Appreciate it, James. Lando, what are your thoughts?
So, this is probably where you guys are gonna fight me a lot. But I mean, this episode out of the whole season, yeah, no, this was not the one for me. I'm gonna start with the legend. And then
Hmm.
I'm gonna just go on from there. I'm gonna try not to be too negative, but I mean, the legend just kind of seemed like an old man rambling the whole episode, and his ramblings when he was with Homelander moved the story along. His ramblings with the boys led them on their leads. So it's like they just brought him in just to fill up some story space, just to further along the story because they didn't have nowhere else to go or any way or couldn't think of something. Now I could be completely wrong, but that's how it came across to me.
Yeah, a
Right?
Stan Lee cameo that went on too long.
Yeah, exactly. Now I don't want to keep bringing up old things, but I'm gonna Sage, right? Ken mentioned it, James mentioned it. I need to mention it again. Like smart, intelligent. Yeah, she mentioned behavior, right? In the episode, she's like, "Oh, I'm always gonna watch this behavior. Behavior is very predictable, especially with humans,
Yep.
people." But she didn't account for the emotions part, right? Maybe she's not that emotionally intelligent. She spoke
Yep.
smarts, intelligence, like she has this grand plan, but maybe that emotion part is where kind of she fell through. So
Agreed.
even though Sage is she's one of the standout characters, her being able to see things and predict things throughout most of the show, but just not right now when it was needed. It was a little bit of a standout, but I still consider Sage as a pro for this episode. Um,
Hmm.
Man, I was gonna touch on Noir, but I'm just gonna jump over that because you guys did it already, and that death was just BS, and we'd lose another Noir. Um,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
our father, with Aaron,
Hmm.
his voice being that strong, I wanted to bring up to this group is like his voice is really that strong to incapacitate Starlight. I thought she was a little bit more powerful for that. I can't see his
Hmm.
voice doing anything towards Homelander or maybe even to Soldier Boy.
Golden Boy.
Yeah, but his voice, his octaves just had that ability over her. It seemed like just a little plot point to move it along as well, right? Um, the overall episode just kind of felt like for me it was a filler.
Hmm.
I would not give it a high score. It moved
Hmm.
along the episode, but and I don't know if everyone else feels this. Maybe the people watching this feels the same way about this, but I don't think we ever expected that virus to be the end all for Homelander because that seems kind of anticlimactic. All the people he killed, and then just to
Hmm.
see him choke on his own blood or choke on his own self and die. I couldn't
Explosive
see the
diarrhea. Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't see the writers doing that at the end. It just didn't
Hmm.
seem right or proper. Um, on a side note though, too. I mean, how long is Deepin in this show, right? This is the beginning. I think he's gonna be like the only one from the seventh left at the end of the show, right? Homelander's gonna
Yeah.
die. The stupidest character, the one who's just trying to dodge and be the snitch, he's
Stuck.
gonna be the only one from the seven. Like that's,
No,
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm with you.
Um, Favorite scene has to be the old folks home. Um, Not just from the fight, which was a little hilarious and comedy, but in the whole with bomb site and with what was her name, Golden Geisha.
Hmm.
That whole part of like her feelings, how she comes across, she doesn't want to live
Yeah.
forever. That little back and forth, how even um, Kimiko idolized her, and
Yeah.
but the stereotypical TV show episode that they have with the white guy with the tomahawk,
Hmm.
I think that all kind of played together. I like that as a whole. I mean, just one scene, but even when
Yeah.
Bomb Site dropped in, I think that was like, okay, this is the part for me where this whole episode just it raised it from like a 5 to a 6 kind of thing.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, this episode definitely did not move my needle. I understand I moved the plot
Yeah.
along, the story along, and I'm excited, really excited for the last 2 episodes to see where this goes. Um, and I'm a fan and I'm gonna continue to be a fan, but this episode didn't do it for me.
Oh, yeah, I respect it. For me, like, yeah, all my notes are pretty much gone at this point. I'll have to dive in a little bit deeper on some of them. One pro that I can mention that I didn't write down is I've really liked Ashley's character. Once again, I think I talked about this previously. I think the power and the way that it's incorporated in within the boys' universe and the way that they go about their dialogue and stuff like that is very well done. So I've continued to appreciate her into this episode, and the other side, her other face kind of taken over, and how that has worked for Sage's plans has been really good. For the O Father, I really believe when he talks about his delusions for Homelander and his belief in the judgment that is coming to him, I think he portrays a very good, like, religious zealot character. And I really feel when he talks about like that he shifted his belief from his previous religion over to Homelander, it really comes across as natural to me. So I really wanted to highlight that. Um, I agree that like the Deep and Black Noir's fight scene was, yeah, very underwhelming. But I think it's funny. I think there's a lot of people out there that, and maybe all of us have had this experience of just a coworker, and you guys, you know that you two just hate each other. So I think like we got a chance to live vicariously through that experience of like taking them out, because I think there's just that can build up within a workplace. So it was just funny to me, like when I like thought about that inside my head. Um, and then there was a few like touching moments, like when we talked about when Lando, when you talked about Golden Geisha and how she's interpreting living forever, along with Kimiko's uh, idolization of her. I think for a second there, Huey got back to who he was in the beginning of the show and what we've kind of lost from him when he's sitting on the car talking, explaining the pure side of him. So I just really want to appreciate just the little sprinkles of wholesomeness that we actually got in there. And then Sage too, when she's talking about solitude, I think that's one thing that is undervalued, is when you just don't have to worry about things. You have a time to yourself to be bored, allow your brain to relax for a while without having to, ice pick your brain. So I appreciated those things. When it comes to the cons, right, then you go from Huey's scene talking about um, the meaning that him and Starlight's relationship has had together, and then it just goes right back into the Big Bird comment. Like I just didn't need that, and they continue to recycle very similar dialogue lines of disgusting, vulgar stuff throughout like almost every single character. So it sucks to see that repeated over and over again, even for the characters that I don't feel like it really fits for at this point. I think Bomb Sight's first fight scene when he's taking out the different characters of the boys was kind of weird. Kimiko just yells, "Hey!" stands there, gets blasted away. And who was it? Who else? Butcher, like latching onto him with his tentacles, and then just standing there and then getting flipped around. I thought was kind of inflexible and didn't really work for me. And then yeah, like when Sage, like I thought I'd listed this as a pro in the beginning, but Sage saying, "Oh, they're predictable. I understand human behavior and all that stuff." I thought was perfect. And then for that to just get trampled over, and then hear her as that character of supposedly great intelligence and what she's kind of shown throughout the show, to utter the lines, "It's impossible," that we've heard every single villain or hero or Frieza or whoever talk about what just happened in front of them, was just you just hate to see that. And it just completely undermines a character. And it's like, how do you recover from that unless you're setting up for something bigger? So, but like we talk about, Ken, the information we have so far, this is what you've presented to us, so we have to judge that hard. My standout scene was Legends convo with Homelander, because I feel like, and I thought about this, Ken, when you talk about like how he had similar conversations with oh my gosh,
Stan Edgar.
similar conversation with Stan Edgar, yes sir. Um, the difference is that when Stan Edgar was delivering that stuff, it was lacking compassion. He was just telling him the truth. He wasn't a father like he can be
Well said,
with
yeah.
his adopted daughter and granddaughter. You know that he's capable of it. But the legend really, like, once you get past, "Oh, my life's over. Okay, well, I'm just going to say what I want." The way he delivered the lines was with a tone that would be supportive of Homelander. And that's the first time I feel like he's really ever heard it be described to him with compassion, other than just everybody else just either super afraid of him or like it's just all pushed by negative emotion. I feel like the legend got past that to be able to talk to him with compassion. For me, it didn't really move the needle. I feel like we're about similarly with all the positives and negatives as we're swaying back and forth. But yeah, question I have for everybody is at this point, can we consider? I just want to like get this clear because we talked about it. Is Sage deserving of the title of Mastermind?
I think it was just for the group.
Yeah.
Oh, so I feel the reason, and I don't agree with it because I also don't like how Sage was portrayed in this final, like this. I say final, it's not, or this
Yeah.
last episode. I feel like she was written to represent sort of like the show is kind of showing us like, are these characters loyal to like a belief or are they loyal to themselves? I guess it's more like a loyalty versus morality type of deal,
Hmm.
right? So with Sister Sage, she essentially is choosing like the good guy morality side over the vision of the Seven or Homelander, right? And then I think that was written in terms or so that it can showcase a parallel with Soldier Boy kind of doing the opposite
Hmm.
in terms of like choosing family over global safety, I guess, or saving the world, which you would think what both those characters you think would do the opposite of what they did in this episode. And I think I'm trying to give the writers credit for making this, writing them in that way. I do
Hmm.
feel it's sort of a detriment to it though, because it goes against a lot of these characters that we've built up from multiple seasons, you know. Somebody like the Deep choosing his own like personal feelings or ego over the Seven or a
Yeah.
brotherhood, like with like the friendship with Black Noir. Totally get that. That makes sense, seeing what we've seen from the Deep. I don't know if Soldier Boy and I'm throwing Soldier Boy in the Sister Sage conversation too, in terms of like these are two characters that are doing something completely different. Is this like good writing, like with them trying to surprise us as an audience? Or is this something that just is, I don't know, kind of coming out of left field?
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm trying to think about like your fuck. I forgot your question was, Jerome.
Is
I
Sage
just
a mastermind? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay, that's what it was. It stemmed from that. Like, is she really the mastermind? And then I wanted to go into like the whole how these characters are
Yeah.
written. Like Ken said earlier, I mean, I'm not a super villain, so I can't. I mean, not that I know of. So like, I can't write. I can't speak for super villains and whatnot. But
Hmm.
I don't
I
know.
want to
That's just
touch on
kind
that
of
really fast too. When you're
what's
when you're
up.
talking about Sage and morality versus loyalty, I think, and we've talked to Ken and I have talked about this before. When we talked about like what makes a knight, and one of the things that I kind of
Mm,
pointed out was you can't be too smart because I feel like once you get past a certain level of intelligence, you're really just forethought. Like you're developing good forethought. You can see things coming and predict behavior appropriately.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and it's hard to start like if you have someone above you that is making a lot of crazy decisions, you want to get ahead of that. So naturally you're going to become, I think, potentially more selfish, at least in that particular instance. And you start to like, okay, well, now is the time for me to flip sides, and that's fine. It's just once you make that decision and you predict that and it doesn't work out, then everything just comes into question because you just yeah, you can't have that look on your face. Batman can never look baffled unless it's literally Flash doing some crazy stuff and eliminating someone from existence through the Speed Force. Like you have to very particularly take care of when a mastermind character loses that title. Can it match the moment? And if it doesn't, then it's tough for us as an audience to continue to believe that character's that part of their personality.
So, um, with Sister Sage, with Sage, I think she had a plan since she first started, since she first joined, and how this is how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
When she first joined the Seven, she knew that's where she needed to be, her ultimate goal, her ultimate plan. I could see her having that from the end, and it got to this one part where her plan didn't work out. It didn't go the
Hmm.
direction she had chosen. But if we discount every other thing that's happened before, kind of
Yeah.
working towards her plans, she was working Homelander, she was working Soldier Boy, she was even working the boys because she mentioned in this episode, or was it the previous one, like I always knew where you were. Like I
Yeah.
could have sent them to get you. We could have ended
Yep.
this a lot sooner,
This
but
episode. Yep.
it didn't get to her plan that she wanted. And when it came to this one point, this one thing, it didn't fall in line. So to say she's not a mastermind, I mean, we'd have to consider like Doctor Doom not a mastermind. We'd have to consider uh, um, Superman's what's his
Lex.
Luther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lex, not a super genius mastermind kind of thing. Joker's not, because they all get foiled like the last minute, the last thing. So
Hmm.
she is still human. She's still intelligent. She didn't account for everything. Is she still a mastermind? I would say she's still intelligent. She still has a plan. I can see her
Okay.
definitely pivoting because of this incident.
Yeah.
If she escapes it alive,
Yeah. She
then
still
I
gets her
can,
solitude. Yeah. You got to give her respect.
yeah. So then I can see her still getting her plan if Homelander
Hmm.
dies one way or the other, and everything just kind of goes to quote unquote normal, right? Then she can still go get her, like you said, she can still go get her solitude. She can still be alone. She's still smart enough to have her dream come through.
Yeah.
So to immediately
That's a
discount
fair
her
point.
for not being the the genius, the mastermind, because one part fell through. I'm not ready to do that yet. We'll see what happens.
Mhm. I respect that.
Yeah, I don't think I have much to add after, like Lando and James have gone. But to try and build on a few things that they said, to James's point, if you can get within like Soldier Boy's like morality, because
Hmm.
he's essentially like the Captain America representative for this show. That means that no matter what's going on around you, Jerome, to your point, like even like foresight, you throw all that out the window. He's pretty simplistic at the end of the day, and he's
Yeah.
always going to make, I don't want to say honorable because it is Soldier Boy, but within his morality, like the honorable move, just like Cap would. Um, and Cap's always done that, even in the Avengers
That's
films.
so
Like
crazy. Yeah. That's so crazy.
when it's okay,
Please
well,
do.
do we blow Vision's
Hmm.
brains out? No, no, we're not going to do that. Like, and Butcher made a similar decision at season 3 when it was okay, do we take out Homelander or do we factor in Ryan? He chose to factor in Ryan, and it's really the same thing that Soldier Boy did. And again, like
Yeah.
Sage asked Ashley's telepathy side to get in his head, and it was a whole lot in there. It was really hard for her to really like
Yes.
nail down like where he was going. But like I said, like just like with Captain America, they have their sense of morality and they do not break outside of that. Like if you get caught, if
Yeah.
you can figure out where it is, you know what they are going to do in every single situation. That's why like Cap, you can argue is not the best person to lead, but also the best person to lead. So, and then just to build on like what like Lando said, yeah, I mean we can't take away the mastermind title from her yet, but I will take it away from her if she didn't account for that. So like I don't even want to like even go too much deeper into it. Like if you cannot account for Soldier Boy giving him the V, then you are not a mastermind. And I'm just gonna
Hmm.
just take in because I think like Lando mentioned Lex. I'll take his performance in the latest Superman movie. Lex
Yeah.
schemed way, 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 way more than all this. But
Mm.
the only time where Lex got, and which is why I don't hold it against him as much, it's tough to account for two individuals that are significantly beyond anything that the planet can account for. Because when Crypto came in, Crypto was able
Yeah.
to immediately annihilate all of the droids, and it really fucked over his entire planet. That's just hard
Yeah.
to account for because at the end of the day, when you have those type of powers, no matter how much planning you can do, like this, like Superman's
Yes.
dog can come in and destroy
Yep.
everything. Like
Yep.
it's
Victor
present.
Wembanyama's shot blocking skills. Yes, sir.
Right,
Can't
right.
account
So
for that.
so as intelligent as you can be,
Hmm.
at the end, but that, like, so if Homelander came in just due to his just superior power and dominated,
Yeah.
I wouldn't hold it against her. But you're talking a very predictable human emotion, and like Lando said, I mean, like behavior, you should know that. And
Hmm.
Ozymandias would not have slipped up. He was going against Doctor Manhattan, so.
Yeah. Another question I have for you guys is outside of like potentially Homelander, whose death is going to be the most gratifying for you as we get into the last couple of episodes? I think for me in particular, it is like the Deep because he's such a huge clown and respect because he's portraying it perfectly. I feel like he's doing a great job of just being that suck up on the wrong side. Just oh man, like it's horrible. Like there were some redeeming qualities of Black Noir, but the Deep is just like even from episode one with what he was doing to Starlight and everything. This man is off
He's horrible, and
the
that's
deep end.
what
Yes.
it is. He's sticking it to the writers are sticking it to us by keeping him along around this
Yeah.
long.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I hope they make like his fall, the look on his face. I want to see the deliver of emotion when he's like getting his in these last couple episodes.
Yeah, Jerome, I think I'd have to echo what you said. The actor's doing such a good job of just playing pathetic. I mean,
Hmm.
Homelander is like we hate his guts, but I wouldn't say he's pathetic. The Deep is literally pathetic. So you're kind of rooting for someone like that to, you know,
Yeah, that's the easy. That really is the easy out.
get got relatively and immediately. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't really have much to add there. I agree with you, Josh.
That's why I can
I
see the writers just letting him swim away at the end, and it's gonna be horrible. We're all gonna hate it.
yeah.
Well done,
No,
well
Last
done.
dude
for me,
standing.
it'd be definitely Billy Butcher, I think.
Okay.
We have a character who sacrificed literally every shred of ethical value that he stood for in order to win. In
Hmm.
order, he's thinking about the results first, repercussions last.
Yes.
This is a character that like we really should not be rooting for, and it's funny because so he's the one that I want to see like die the most.
Hmm.
Like Lando, you had brought up how the legend didn't really work for you because he felt like exposition from an old, like a grumpy old man and whatnot. And I agree with that actually, funny enough, even though I really liked him. And I think this illustrates a problem. The biggest problem I think I have with the show is that, we do not, I'm sorry, I say we. I do not really connect with any of these main characters. Billy, Huey, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, Kamiko, Starlight, I could definitely get with, but like the rest of them, I like the speech that the legend had with Homelander. We should have given it to like Mother's Milk or Frenchie or something, to give them like kind of like a way, and then have him kill them or Homelander kill them or let them go. Either way, it would have given
Yeah.
more like oomph to our main cast instead of having to introduce some brand new character from the past or whatnot
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
to try to
Let them
tie
take
into
that.
this to
Yeah,
give
take that
them that
pace. Yeah.
character moment
Yep.
for us to care. So it's funny, like Lando, like what you were saying, like I agree with you, but like I like the legend. I agree with you about the legend, but I like him because of the reasons you don't like him. You know what I mean? Because I don't care about. I'm not feeling a certain type of way about any of our main characters.
About Ashley, I mean, that's kind of weird to say she's like a side character, but I think throughout the whole
Yeah,
season, the whole series, she's had multiple opportunities to get out, flee, potentially just get away and not be a part of all this crap. Well, use that word instead.
yeah,
Yeah.
But she should have some up and comings for herself too. I think the character, the actress plays it very well,
Hmm.
but that
agreed.
character definitely needs some coming ups.
Yeah.
She's been way too complete.
She's grown on me too. She's grown on me since I thought like she kind of had a similar vibe as the Deep early on, but I feel like I've appreciated her more and more, especially in like season 5.
She's got her dual like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde or Mrs. Hyde type deal, with that
Hmm.
other personality with it. It reminds me of that movie Malignant. Y'all seen that horror movie, the James Wan one, where the
Hmm.
chick has like the other part of her growing. She was
Hmm.
like a Siamese twin or whatever, and they like tried to cut her out and they left like her brain. in the back of the girls, and it's whatever. Spoilers if you haven't seen *Malignant*, who cares? Anyway, it was like that. Yeah, I like that. I'm kind of with Lando too. Like I might be between Billy Butcher and Ashley also because like yo, you've been here. Like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
And you can like your other self can read the minds of like everybody here in the seven. Like, really, what are we doing here? Literally. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that, Lando.
Wait,
Yeah.
because like Lando, you weren't on the last podcast that we did. Who do you want to see take out Homelander?
Shit.
Huey. I think it would kind of stick it to Billy that he doesn't get to do it. He's quote
That'd be,
unquote
yeah, I could see that.
the weakest character
Hmm.
out of everybody. But if it is him, it needs to be something a little flashy, a little unexpected, out of right field. I think that would be one of a satisfying thing for me to see that happen. It's too cliche if we see Billy do it for me.
Yeah, the way Homelander talks about Huey, like when they first met, and how much he looked down on him too. Like, oh, that's just continued. Yeah, so that'd be good comeuppance for him.
hmm
I think James mentioned a good point last week. Um, I think whoever does it should be someone that never gave in to superpowers. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Huey ended up taking the
Hmm.
10th V. So I feel like
Teleport.
for as pure as he is, I think that would
Nightcrawler.
disqualify it. Yeah, I
But
think that disqualifies.
he gave it up though, didn't he?
Nah, I mean, you've given in to temptation. I feel like, I mean, just like
Yeah.
Butcher, I mean,
Yeah.
both of them are disqualified. I mean, it should be, I think, yeah, it's telegraphed to be Butcher, but I just like James's point that if you actually took the V or any type of the V, then you shouldn't be the one to get to, kill Homelander.
Yeah,
Just
because
from a
that's like
moral perspective.
that was the whole point of the show. That's the whole point, like justification of the show. It's like these people with superpowers that were experimented on or whatever with the V. Like it should be somebody that did not give into that the ideology of like the temptation of having superpowers. Which again, to my point about Billy Butcher is the character I want to see die. Like I guess the one I want to see die the most is him
Yeah.
because like this is somebody that sacrificed everything he stood for just to win. That's some supervillain shit. But he's supposed to be our secondary main character along with you. Although I am with Lando, like I totally get like Huey being, the one they're sort of posing it to be Huey. Because I mean he's like the main character of the show, I think. I don't know. For me as an audience member, I only know that because of the comics and reading a lot of like the descriptions,
Yeah.
watching the show, the boys are like the people I am the least interested in. I mean, not to derail the
Yeah.
conversation, but I don't care
We
about the
talked about that.
boys. We got
Yeah.
the legend here, and I'm listening to this old man rambling, and I'm like, why are you more interested than, Frenchie and Kamiko having their thing? And they've been here since season one. Kamiko shouldn't have even been like, they gave her a voice, they're still using sign language. What are we doing?
Mhm.
What? Why?
I think that's more just like the show has probably run its course, even with the best writing, even with the best acting. Yeah, I think it's time. It's
I
time.
agree.
J-
Agree.
Jerome, what do you
Recycling.
think? What do you think their plan is for all of those telepaths that they have?
Oh yeah, that they brought together.
Yeah,
I guess they were just trying to get ahead of because it was Homelander that brought them all together, right?
yeah, like mass mind control to like follow Homelander, or
I don't know. The thing I thought about was trying to get ahead of Sage, but I don't know if that's like in particular towards understanding and like not relying because Homelander's relied on her for so much. I mean, she's gone now, but trying to get ahead of that. But yeah, I mean, I could see it like a mind control thing being potentially what the outcome of that is.
hundreds of
But
suits that cater to telepathy to counter Sister Sage.
too good.
Look, what do you think
Just the
about
way it's going to end for her, I know that like she doesn't deserve that. So
Yeah.
I'm heartbroken.
it's going to end for her at a Taco Bell drive-through or something.
No, the crunch wrap, choking on a
Yeah.
crunch wrap.
But
I love that character.
what do you think about like the whole like the seven aren't even like trying to be heroic anymore. You know what I mean? Like we're giving into this cult mentality, like this whole collapse of the institution of what they've built, the seven, the boys.
True, we've
right?
lost that connection to their impact on the greater world. Yeah.
Same thing with the boys too. Like my point earlier about Billy Butcher. Even Mother's. I don't even. What are Mother's Milk? What does he do?
He is the only one that hasn't taken the V.
Don't. Hey, I do not say you want him to kill.
Yeah, Frenchie, Frenchie and Mother's Milk collaborating. Hopefully, they collaborate better than their gunshots went off against Bomb Sight.
Oh man,
he is bulletproof though.
Why we shooting Soups in season 5, episode 6 with pistols?
With 2 more episodes left. Yeah,
he just looked over his shoulder and just kept walking. He's like, huh?
This conversation with my girl. Take this V1. Anything else from anybody?
Nothing that's gonna not derail the podcast. So
okay. Well, with that, I want us to take a moment of silence for the loss of Jeremy. I think that's only fitting for this episode. So if we could all just bow our heads for a second.
Tell 10 bell salute.
Yes, sir. But yeah, with that, we appreciate all of you guys coming to check us out. Please leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you.